Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request from DarkMetalSpider. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Hope I do the video justice. And for those interested, for anyone who want to request any type of tier list like this, as long as you provide a link for me to see the tier list, thank you, DarkMetal. I appreciate the work you put into it. Or any reviews or topics or reactions or commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. So he wanted me to do a tier list on his list of his top 50 favorite films of all time. Now, I'll say the list, and then as I do it, I'll share my opinions on each one. But the go through his list real quick. Number 1 is Blobber Mouth. Number 2, Tandem of the Spiders. Number 3, Shin Godzilla. Number 4, Rocket Man with Elton John, the biopic, 2019. Warcraft, number 5. Resurrection, 1980 film, number 6. Roller Booty, number 7. Slapshot, number 8. Switchblade Sisters, number 9. Man Who Fell to Earth, number 10. Immortal Beloved, number 11. Somewhere in Time, number 12. Ten Commandments, 1956 version, number 13. The Green Slime, number 14. Godzilla vs. Mob Monster, number 15. Godzilla 1985, the American version, number 16. Taste Shelter, number 17. Kiss of the Tarantula, number 18. Hell's Angels on Wheels, number 19. Mysterious Island from 1961, number 20. Earth vs. the Flying Saucers, number 21. The Giant Spider Invasion, number 22. The Devil Match Devlin, number 23. Russell's Rhapsody, number 24. Support Your Local Sheriff, number 25. The Doors, number 26. Walk the Line, number 27. Sweet Dreams, number 28. Rocky 4, number 29. Love at First Bite, number 30. Superman 2's number 31. The Blob 1988, number 32. Savannah Smiles, number 33. The Trip to Bountiful, number 34. Super Fuzz, which I reviewed recently, thanks to him, number 35. Urban Cowboy, number 36. War of the Worlds from 1953, 37. Popeye, Robin Williams, number 38. The Black Scorpion from 1957, number 39. Twisted Pair, number 40. Something Wicked This Way Comes, number 41. The Natural, number 42. Rock and Roll, number 43. Dot and Kangaroo, number 44. Dot and Bunny, number 45. Kroll from 1983, number 46. Clash of the Titans, 1981 from number 47. The Cutting Edge from number 48. Orca the Killer Whale, number 49. And Speed Racer, number 50. So, to get into the list here, which he picked out, best movie ever, I love it, just okay, I'll never watch it again, never seen it. So first we have Blobber Mouth. Blobber Mouth is a film, well, it's barely a film, and it's pretty much a parody where they take the Blob with Steve McQueen, but people add in their own voice work and such. And the more I think about it, I would never watch the film again. I think when I first saw it, okay, it's kind of a novelty. So I'd probably say just okay, but honestly, I would never watch it again. I just didn't think it was that funny. I think it could have been more creative, more entertaining, more Mystery Science 3000. I don't know. It's an interesting novelty that probably be around the time before Mystery Science 3000. Someone was doing kind of a similar thing with the Blob, but again, they were kind of at the same time making a comedic version by voicing it. But that's an interesting novelty, but I never see it again. Now, The Man Who Fell to Earth, I've heard of it, but I've never seen that one. Immortal Beloved, I've heard of that, I haven't seen that one. Shin Godzilla, I will never watch that film again. I think that's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I would call it Shit Godzilla, like my friend Michael Keane. The Choice Voice, we both would call it Shit Godzilla. If you want to see a movie where 80% of it is people in boardrooms talking about politics, because it's about politics. It's about the politics of the time. I don't give a shit about Japanese politics. I give a shit about Godzilla. And even ones that don't have a lot of Godzilla, like even the original, they still felt like more of a interesting theme, or there was more going for it. Here it was a goofy-looking Godzilla, the younger Godzilla with the googly eyes. I don't like the lasers or whatever the fuck coming out of his tail, or whatever the shit that was. I thought that was really stupid design. I thought it was a boring-ass, shitty Godzilla movie. I do not understand the praise for it, but teach their own. The green slime. I mean, I liked it. I'm going to put this for either love or liked it. Because I find it better than just okay. Like, okay is kind of meh. I would say I like the green slime. That's one I grew up with. I saw that when I was a kid. It's definitely, I forget what year it came out, but it definitely has that 50s monster movie feel. It was a kind of seemed like an American, but also a Japanese kind of co-production. It felt like a Toho monster movie, but with a lot of American actors in it. American or British actors or so forth. Very, very catchy theme song. Green slime! The creatures are fun to look at. I mean, yes, they're men in suits, but the way they sound, the sound effects utilized, and the tentacles, it has a charm to it. And chalked up to nostalgia, but I do like the green slime. And like I said, the theme song is rather catchy. Somewhere in Time, I know I reviewed the film. I don't remember what I thought of it. A lot of times I review films and I don't remember what I thought of them because they didn't leave that much of an impact. I don't remember hating the film, but I don't remember loving it. I remember like Christopher Reeve doing a good job, but I remember having issues with how he goes back in time. And I thought the ending was very weird, like I thought it was very, I don't know, I remember the ending bothered the hell out of me, and certain bits of the story really bothered me. I mean, technically I should put in, I'll never watch that again. But I'll just put just okay. The Ten Commandments, honestly, I've never seen it all the way through. I'm not really into biblical movies. Although I did not mind the Martin Scorsese Last Temptation of Christ because I like Willem Dafoe's performance and I like Martin Scorsese as a director. But I'm just not really into long biblical epic movies. Like doesn't have to be just religious, but like Ben-Hur. They're not bad. It's just I watch them and then I'm like, these are long ass movies. I got shit I need to do. So that's kind of how I feel about it. But from what I saw, it wasn't bad. Rocket Man. Yeah, I haven't seen Rocket Man. I haven't seen Warcraft. I actually have never seen Slapshot. I know of it and Paul Newman, but I've never seen it. Never seen that one. What would that one be? Oh, Love at First Bite. I've seen it, but I don't remember much about it. I'll put in never seen it category. I know I've seen it once. War of the Worlds, the 50s one, I'll just put just okay. I like how ambitious the effects were at the time. I don't know, when I think of alien invasion movies, War of the Worlds, if I think more about it, it's more about the radio play Orson Welles and how people thought it was real. Not really about the movies. I'll probably say I actually like the Tom Cruise one more than this. I know that may seem blasphemy, but I have issues with that film as well, but I would rather watch that than this one. Because I don't remember the characters. Not that they're bad characters, but they don't really... When they do Alien Invasion, I think of like Independence Day and films of that nature that I'm much more a fan of for alien invasion movies. And Independence Day is more my cup of tea. But War of the Worlds is not a bad movie. let's see. Again, this is going to be for I like or love it. And I liked Resurrection. I reviewed the film not too long ago. I thought the performance by the lead actress was rather good. I didn't care for the love story she had with this guy who just went crazy and because of his religious beliefs and tried to kill her, and then nothing really resulted of that part of the story. I thought that was the weakest part of it, but when she was finding out her powers after being resurrected from near death and her helping people, I thought that was interesting, the most interesting bit of the story. I kind of wish the movie just kept going with that. I guess it'd be kind of like an early version of Phenomenon with John Travolta. But overall, I did like the film. But I have a review of that up for those interested. I mean, I don't know about best movie ever because it's hard. I have best movie ever's list, but I do quite like Godzilla vs. Mob Monster, so I'll put that just above there because it's one of my favorite Godzilla movies. Like if I did a top 5 favorite Godzilla films, the Small Monster will be in there. I love the film. I wish I could get it on Blu-ray. Actually, don't know how much it is on Blu-ray. Because only one of those I have on a Blu-ray, which is the GMK, which I really enjoy because Godzilla's like a deadite from Evil Dead in it. He's pretty badass, but I like to check out what the Blu-ray of this, how much it is. Because I enjoy how unique it was compared to other Godzilla films. I like the director, that he tried to do something rather different. I like there was an acid trip at times. I like that there was an animated sequence in the middle of it. I like the small monster when it kills, like, it gets on people, and I don't know if I say they melt, but like close to it, and had a very interesting score. And Godzilla is able to kick the small monster's ass, and it's one of the times where Godzilla's a good guy. It was such a unique movie and a fun film, and sadly the director got punished for it because when it came out, people didn't like it, and then pretty much the head guy there said, this director will never work with us again. You're never going to direct another Godzilla movie again. He pretty much got ostracized, which is bullshit because I think he made one of the best, more unique Godzilla movies that really stands apart in a good way. So, but go figure. That's sometimes how it goes. Let's see. Let's go with Super Fuzz. I reviewed that recently. I liked it. I read a comment that apparently the English dub is Terrence Hill doing his own voice. I did not know that. If that person's watching, did he do the English dub and They Call Me Trinity? Because he mentioned this film and then like Miami Super Cops and another movie, Crime Busters. So maybe this one, Terrence Hill did the English dub, but then if that's the case, sadly, I would say I like the English dub. They Call Me Trinity more, but yeah, I reviewed it recently. I already explained my thoughts on it, but it's goofy, it's fun. The villains aren't much. The powers kind of go all over the place. But it's goofy, it has a charm to it. It's good for kids to watch. And yeah, it's worth it if you're a kid. Or if you have kids, give it a watch. It's fun. There's nothing harmful about it. Tandem of the Spiders, I would say I liked it. I mean, it's William Shatner versus spiders. Can't go wrong with some Shatner in there. I'm a William Shatner fan. I liked him in Star Trek. I liked him in National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1 as the villain. He faced off against Jess Speakman in Land of the Free. I do like William Shatner, and I'm not a fan of spiders, so I definitely believe them as a threat. Granted, my favorite spider film is Arachnophobia. I think that is, in my opinion, the best spider movie. But I liked it. It just, it's weird to watch though, because you could tell that a lot of spiders get killed in it. And it's one thing, yeah, I don't like spiders. If they're in my room, I would probably kill it. Unless it was a day where I just try to catch it and throw it out. But if they're leaving me alone, I'm gonna leave them alone. And I don't think it's right to have a shitload of spiders just dumped and then you see cars literally running them over. I don't think this could be one of those movies where it has the no animals were harmed during the making of this movie. And yes, I know, well, they're just spiders. I don't know, just any animal getting killed in a film, even like the snake in Friday the 13th, because that was a real snake they killed. Yeah, I love eating chicken, and I have no problems with that. Love hamburgers and cheeseburgers, but it's just, if we're killing to eat and survive or taste good, I get that. For a movie, no. To me, it's shit business. So, and the ending is interesting, but at least be wanting more. At least be wondering, well, what happened next? Because it's a cool ending. I won't spoil it for those who, if you know, you know. The last final moments is a pretty interesting visual, but then it makes me go, well, what happened next? Because I like William Shatner, but that's why it would have been neat to see a sequel. But alas. But yeah, those one of those old school animal run amok, nature run amok movies that if they made nowadays be just a bunch of CGI. So appreciate that it's real spiders they're using. And it still gives me the creepy crawlies because of that. Let's see. I don't know if I've seen this one, Kiss of the Tarantula. If I did, I don't remember a thing about it. Roller Booty, I've never seen. What is this one? Oh, Switchblade Sisters. Sisters, not Swifters. Yeah, Switchblade Sisters. It was okay. I mean, I reviewed the film again. I know you saw the film. You saw the review, Dark Metal Spider. Didn't mind some of the acting. Some of it. Some of it was a bit out there. There was some fun to be had. I'd say it was okay. But, I don't know. Like I said, sometimes these films I forget what the hell I said about it specifically, so that's what the reviews are there for. I would have to go back and rewatch it. The Cutting Edge, I'll put in this category. I liked it. I was surprised that I liked it so much. I thought D.B. Sweeney and the other girl, they had pretty good chemistry. I thought some of the direction, the way they went back and forth, the way the training scenes kind of went at a good pace, nice usage of music. I thought it was going to be a lot more cringy or a lot more eye-rolling. But no, had a nice charm to it that I could see how other people got enjoyment out of it. So yeah, The Cutting Edge, I thought, you have a hockey player, you have a girl who wants to ice skate, going to train for the double ice skating, figure skating for the Olympics. They come from different worlds. Yes, there's a lot of cliche, but there's also some chemistry and charm that overlooked the cliches. So that made that work pretty decently. Superman 2, I liked it. I prefer Superman 1, and yes, I'm the only person on Earth that will say I like Superman 3 more than Superman 2. I like Superman 2. But the whole giving up his powers, I get where they're going with, but the fact they do that in the second movie, like you just got to establish as Superman and already you're giving up your powers, I can't help it, that always bugged the shit out of me. I know why I did it in the movie. the story. He loves Lois Lane, give his powers up. But it's like, in the second movie, like if it was a fourth movie or something, I can understand. But the second movie, it just felt a bit too soon. It just felt a bit too soon. At least in Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi, it was he not having control of losing his powers. But I do like Terrence Stamp as General Zod. I actually like the theatrical cut. I like the theatrical cut more than the Richard Donner cut. I mean, the Richard Donner cut, rest in peace, Richard Donner. I think he worked well for the first film. But the second film, like, you took out, General, would you care to step outside? That's like the best line in the movie, and you take that shit out. And I like the way Lois finds out he's Superman. Because Lois Lane shoots at him, but then at the same time it's a fake gun. But you would think Superman would be smarter because he could see through the gun. Or you just see the gun, whether it's low or not, with its X-ray vision. And I don't know, I much prefer theatrical cut. And even the Superman 2 has a good fight finale against the three Kryptonians. Christopher Reeve does a wonderful job. But I will admit, I like Superman 3 more. It's sillier, but I like the Richard Pryor angle. I like the computer AI angle. I like the creepy image of that one old bitch turned into a cyborg that scared the shit out of some kids. Not me. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. I like Richard Vaughn. I mean, yeah, he's playing another type of Lex Luthor, but it was nice it wasn't just Gene Hackman, Lex Luthor. Because Gene Hackman worked well in Superman the movie. In Superman 2, it just felt like he was just put in there just because. It's great to see Gene Hackman, but, you know, I like the Kryptonians. So I do like Superman 2, it's just, I like the first one and the third one more. But hey, that's just me. Godzilla 1985, I think probably just okay. Well, actually, take that back. He said the American version. If this was the overseas, like Japanese version, I would say that. But for the American version, I would never see that again. Because I have no reason to see the American version again. I mean, if I'm going to watch it, I would just watch the other version. Because I thought the stuff with Raymond Burr, it was filmed after the fact, and you could tell because they offer nothing to it. Just him monologuing about the importance of Godzilla. But it's like shit we already know, and shit we don't need told to us, and they don't do anything. Like the Americans, like nothing. They do nothing. They just watch like us. They don't do shit. Raymond Burr doesn't really do shit. I'll just go watch the better paced Japanese version. And even then, it was just kind of a regurgitation of the 50s movie, and I thought the 50s movie did it better. So, it's not one of my favorite Godzilla films. Again, if it was the Japanese version, I would just go, it's okay, but the American version, I have no reason to watch that again. Good trailers, good promotion. I like the trailers for the film. I would say I like the trailers of the film more than the film, but it is what it is. Black Scorpion I've never seen. Urban Cowboy. If I saw that, I don't remember anything about. Let me look. Hell's Angels on Wheels I didn't see. Bountiful One I didn't see. I didn't see this one with the little girl. Got curls in her hair. Walk the Line. I don't remember. I might have seen. I don't remember anything about. Support Your Local Sheriff. I didn't see. Rhapsody. I didn't see. Didn't seem like my cup of tea. Devil Max Devlin. If I saw that now, Bill Cosby probably tried to drug me. Vs. the Flying Saucer. I didn't see. I haven't seen the Giant Spider Invasion. I know of it because I've heard it's one of the worst films ever, but I've never seen it. Dot and the Bunny and Dot and the Kangaroo, or Bangaroo, whatever. Maybe it was a different movie. Maybe it was a porno. Dot and the Banneroo. I've never seen The Natural. I know of it, though, of course. I know the music. I didn't see Mysterious Island. Let's see. Rocky 4, I definitely gotta put up here. Of course. I gotta put Rocky 4 for... Love Rocky 4 to death. One more to say about Rocky 4. I love the montages. It's one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. It's favorite montages of all time. Dolph Lundgren is such a great villain as Ivan Drago. It's the shortest of the Rocky films. It just goes by quick. And I love the environment. I love Burt Young as Paulie. I love the fight sequence at the end. It's such a great epitome of 80s movies and entertainment. And that's why I go see these movies, is for entertainment. You know, I love the soundtrack. Hearts on Fire, Sweet as Victory, which wasn't even in the movie, but it was on the soundtrack, which I listened on cassette over and over and over again. I love the montages of Stallone in the snow and back to basics while Ivan Drago is using the high-tech technology and steroids. He's a juicer. Great fucking movie. I love, love, love Rocky 4. So. And The Blob. I definitely gotta put The Blob up there. I fucking love The Blob from 1988. That Rocky 4 are like two of my favorite films of all time. The Blob remake from 1988 is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Kevin Dillon and Shawnee Smith in it. I think it has a much wittier and clever script than people give it credit for a monster movie. I think the special effects, other than some of the wide shots you see where the people are in front of the blob, and there's a little bit of the whatever blue screen, whatever technology they used, doesn't stop 100% in sync. But the practical effects are fantastic, including that cover shot. I like the musical score. I even like the song by Alien, Brave New Love. I think it does some clever things, whether it be the movie within the movie, take a bit on slasher films. Surprises like the kid getting killed, which you don't expect. I like the military angle. I think it's a superior remake. It's how you do a remake right and well. And I still, to this day, do not understand why this has not gotten the recognition. Like, people give recognition to The Thing, and they always gave recognition to The Fly, but no one ever gives recognition to The Blob, the remake. And I think that's a fucking shame. To me, it's easily one of the best monster movies of all time. It's one of the best remakes of all time. It's one of the best 80s horror films of all time. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. The Blob remake is fantastic. I love it. Let's see. Something Wicked This Way Comes. I'll never watch it again. I watched it once. I didn't get the hype for it. Maybe because I didn't see it when I was a kid. Maybe because I just thought it was kind of mediocre, boring. Didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it was creepy. Didn't think it was scary. I have no desire to ever watch it again. Take Shelter. Yeah, once again, I've seen the film. I didn't get what the big deal was. Michael Shannon was doing a good job. It was a slow build, but I'm like, okay, it's a slow build. It better have a hell of a payoff. I didn't think the payoff was that great. The payoff didn't really do anything for me. I'm sitting there going, okay, well, spoilers. You think there's a storm, then you think they're safe. Oh shit, sight, there is a storm. He was right the whole time. You're all fucked. But then you don't see anything afterward. You make it up for yourself, and I'm like, okay. If it never happened, then there'd be an interesting take on a guy's psychology when he believes something is real that it isn't, and how does a family deal with that? If it's something about real supernatural events, honestly, it's just a take on The Last Wave with Peter. Was it Peter Fonda? It was one that I forget. No, Richard Chamberlain. I think it was Richard Chamberlain. The one that Peter Weir directed. Just I forget who the actor was. There's kind of like they see that something's happening and no one would believe them, and then oh, you think everything's okay, then oh shit, here it comes, and this big fucking tidal wave that seems like it's going to overtake the whole city. I mean, it felt like just a rip-off of that movie. So, Michael Shannon is good, but I don't know. I didn't get the hype. The Doors, it's not an awful film, but I don't think I would ever see it again. It's not my favorite Oliver Stone film. Maybe because the subject matter doesn't really interest me. The Doors, I like a couple of their songs, but I don't really give a shit about their history, their biography. Jim Morrison, I don't really give a shit about his life. And Val Kilmer, I would say I prefer Tombstone, or Real Genius, or Top Secret, or The Ghost in the Darkness, or Top Gun, or other Val Kilmer movies. Thunderheart, I prefer more. Oliver Stone, I prefer Any Given Sunday. Platoon, JFK. Again, I don't think it's a bad film. It just, don't. If I never see it again, oh well. So maybe I'll just put it there. Where I don't think it's a bad film. This at least, there's the rest of the cast I remember being pretty decent. So I'll put it there. But, yeah. This I will never watch again. It's Neil Breen. I think Neil Breen, his films are some of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. I don't even enjoy them in a funny, laugh out loud, oh, I'm going to laugh at it. No, I get pissed at him because this guy is able to get funding for this shit, and I think it's a waste of goddamn money that this guy can repeatedly get funding for some of the most lazy, worthless fucking movies in existence, and that money could be used in so much better ways, so much better value. Feed the hungry, feed the poor. Hell, give it to us, give it to me, give the money to me. I'll put better use of it with it. I mean, for fuck's sake. Horrible acting, everything is horrible about them, and I don't find them charming. Rockaroo, I barely remember that. I remember being okay. I know the look of the characters is a bit funky, because they're not human, but they're like animal, but they're kind of... I remember being pretty straightforward, but it doesn't have a memorable factor like heavy metal. So that's what I mean, like, I vaguely remember the film, but it must not have left that big of an impact. And then honestly, these, I'm just going to put these up here. They're not here, but these are going to go higher just so I can get the up further and scroll up. Let's see. Trying to think what order these would be in. Speed Racer, I like. That's the Wachowski's movie that I like, other than the Matrix trilogy. I like Speed Racer. I don't know shit about the anime, the manga, whatever the hell you want to call it, but I thought it was very colorful. I thought it was fairly entertaining. It was definitely energetic. It felt like I was watching bubblegum. I know that doesn't make sense, but it felt like if bubblegum was a sentient being and had sex with someone, because it's bubblegum. They had sex with someone and this is their creation. This bubblegum pop art. It just... I thought it was very, very unique and creative in its visuals, very ambitious. Yeah, I quite like Speed Racer. I thought, and it was nice to see John Goodman in there. I thought the acting I've seen much worse, and it just the action sequences just felt very ambitious and colorful and unique, and that was interesting to watch. At least the budget was put to decent usage. Orca, the killer whale, I liked it. I liked it. I liked that the orca, if Charles Bronson was a killer whale, he'd be Orca the killer whale. I mean, it's it's Death Wish 6. That's, well, actually, some of this would be out before it, but if this was re-released, you'd re-release as Death Wish 6. Charles Bronson died and was reincarnated as a killer whale. Death Wish 6, Fun with Flipper. Fist and Flip. Death Wish 6, Fist and Flipper. Because the killer whale sees, his pretty much his woman and his baby die from these fishermen, and now he's going to wreak havoc and fuck up this environment, kill people left and right. I think the orca gets away. Yeah, son of a bitch must pay. So it was interesting that it was the hero, that you're rooting for it, and he doesn't die. It's able to get away. It's not that, well, he's also got to die too. No. And fuck them motherfuckers. So, if Charles Bronson was a killer whale, so that's appealing to me. Clash of the Titans, 81, I liked it. I'm a fan of the stop motion animation. I'm a fan of having older actors. I think Burgess Meredith is in it from the first couple Rocky films. Was it Laurence Olivier, I believe, was in it? I'm bad with names. But yeah, I love the classic creatures involved. The Pegasus and the Kraken and that bitch with the states that turn you into stone. And I just really enjoyed the stop motion animation work. I'm a sucker for that type of technique. It's very charming. That made it a lot of fun to watch. I remember watching this quite a few times when I was a kid. And the music being rousing and exciting for an adventure tale. And the lead guy, he's there. He does what he needs to. I wouldn't say he's the best actor in the world, but he worked for what he needed to do. And there you go. Popeye, I like Popeye. I always like Popeye. And I know that the cat's being perturbed because, I don't know, maybe I'm keeping him awake. But tough. He's going to have to suffer. But I've always liked Popeye, Robin Williams. Always liked it. It was some catchy songs, some ambitious production design of the set they built. I thought Shelley Duvall was perfect as Olive Oil, Robin Williams doing his Popeye impersonation. I mean, it's not what I would have thought to have based on the Popeye cartoons, just you're not thinking of them as musicals. It was a very strange choice to have Popeye be a musical, and it being an origin story where him kind of not knowing who he is and not liking spinach, as not until the very, very end that he finally gets into the spinach and does the Popeye stuff. Like, once in a blue moon, he does the Popeye stuff, and it's like, you're kind of wishing for more of that zany action, like that was in the cartoon, that was appealing for kids of the cartoon. I think maybe that's where they went wrong. Is that this doesn't really feel like a movie for kids. It felt like a movie for adults, because I don't know if a lot of kids gave a shit about musicals back then, but at the same time, Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall, they were charming. They worked well together. Like I said, the songs at times are catchy. You're just wishing for a bit more action. Then they have like an octopus that looks really, really cheap. So there's flaws in it, but I have some fun with it. And then Kroll, I'll put it there. Why not? I like Troll. Came out the same year as Return of the Jedi. Rise of Skywalker fucking stole from it, because Rise of Skywalker has the flying space horses. I'm like, you know what? The Firemans on Troll did that shit a lot better. Love the music by James Horner. Love the fantasy elements. Love the sounds of when the creatures die. Just a very unique death stream. I love the look of, pretty much their version of Stormtroopers. I like the design of the suits they wear, and idea when they die, that kind of screech that they have. I love the beast, and where he keeps I want to say the princess. How visually interesting that was, where she's kept. It felt otherworldly. And you see the beast, it makes it seem like such a big, imposing figure. I love the glaive weapon. I always wanted to own one, but it was so expensive, so I never bought one. But I love the glaive weapon. I wish it was used a lot more than it is. That's one of my issues that just pisses me off about the film. Yeah, this awesome weapon named the glaive. Use it! Fucking use it more. God damn it. It's on the cover of the fucking poster. Use the sumbitch more than just a couple times, like 3 times. You have a very early performance by Liam Neeson in a smaller supporting role as one of the men that go up to try to get to this castle. It's interesting that it will teleport to a different place each night or something. Interesting. Sometimes, like, it was a decent sized budget, but sometimes it did feel like they were just in the desert somewhere. Until finally, we have the lair of the spider woman, and you have the climbing up the fortress, and inside the fortress you have some interesting set design. So I wish there's a bit more of that. I don't know if they need more budget or stuff, but overall, I liked the cast. I love the score. I love the monster, the fantasy elements. The Cyclops, who's their friend, who helps them out, and is like throwing spears at bad guys. It's not afraid to kill some characters off. And overall, no one really mentions Troll, but I always liked it. Wouldn't say I love it, but I always did like it, so yeah, there you go. Blob, Rocky 4, Godzilla vs. Bob Monster, Troll, Orca the Killer Whale, Superman 2, Green Slime, Speed Racer, Cutting Edge, Clash of the Titans, Kingdom of the Spiders. Those are stuff I like. Now, granted, it's a lot more that I haven't seen because they just really didn't look interesting to me. Warcraft, I don't know shit about the game. Some of these other things like Urban Cowboy, I don't know, would be my cup of tea. Same with Hell's Angels on Wheels or Life is Bountiful or such. Devil Matt's Devil, I just keep thinking of Bill Cosby and what he does in real life. I can't help it. But yeah, there's the list. So thanks. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks once again, DarkMetalSpider. Take care.